Alright guys, it's really raining. I hope that's not affecting the quality of the stream. The first person to come online will tell me how it's sounding. Yeah, so yesterday I couldn't stream kinda because it was raining and I had some stuff to do. So I had a class yesterday that I missed. Same thing happening today, but I really don't want to miss any more classes because then I'll have to do it too. So let me know how the audio coming through. I have 2 classes today and you really don't want to get my ears up. We have this maths class, then we have the maths class. So anybody can jump online and just tell me how's the rain, how is it sounding. Is the audio working? Yeah, so someone is online right now, so just let me know if the audio is clear. Kind of bring up my iPad a little closer. So hopefully the rain falling still, some heavy rain falling. It shouldn't fall for 2 hours. What we're doing today is continuing on quadratics. We have 2 more classes of quadratics. There's going to be 1, but we'll do 2 more classes. Good evening, Amelia. Especially since the motivation and the holiday is not too hot up. So we did some of 2.4 already last week for questions like 2.4. But we're just touching back on it. And then we did 2.5 and 2.6. Right, so let me do stick. Let's get cracking. What we're doing is completing this square. We need to write each of the following in the form ax plus h to b squared plus k. So this is the completed the square form. We're going from the initial form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. So you're going from that form to that form. And as I said, there are two ways. 2 weeks ago, I went through the long way in depth. You could watch that video 2 weeks ago. That's the thing, even though some of you are not on all the time, you can go back and watch stuff, especially when exams come in September and stuff. You can go back and look at this stuff anyhow. So I went through the long method, and then I went through the formula method, which is like a short method, where we have a formula for h and we have a formula for k. Anybody can remember the formula for h, formula for k? Formula for h was something, and the formula for k was something. Can you remember what it was? Formula for h, e over 2a. So this is giving up ax squared plus bx plus c, b over 2 times a. Right, and the formula for k is, well, there's 2 ways you can write it. Some people know the 4ac minus b squared over 4a, and or as I said, you can also do c minus b squared over 4a, whichever one is easier for you to memorize, right? C minus b squared over 4a. So we have 2 nice neat formulas there. I left out the plus sign here. So we're changing this into this using these formulas. Let's do a couple just to warm back up. So this is question 3 on page 56 in the book. Somebody has said me there. I'm not getting the book in Grenada, but we'll order it. Thank God for online ordering. 2x squared. I hope you all are hearing that A, B, C, D, E, F, G thing. If you're hearing that, if you're here, Shemaya, Triple X Skull, you have a different YouTube account. If you're hearing too much background noise, let me know. As I said, it's reading 2x squared minus 4x plus 7. Complete the square here. What's going to happen? Let's do the long way. Let's do the long way for this. Do the power the a. 2 into this. Take out the a. Stop me at any time. Now what happens when I take out the e? Let's just simplify that. Divide this number by 2 and square it. So that divided by 2 is negative 1 squared. So that's positive 1. So we're going to add in positive 1. Add it in right here. Just create a perfect square. Take it back out, multiplied by a. So you need to take back away 2. So you're 17.2. Then you just finish up. 2 into x minus 1. Where did I get the 1 for? Half of this. That is what goes there. Plus 5. Alright, so let's do the short method now. Aka the formula method. In the formula method, we find the value of h and k and just plug it in. Find the value of h and k and just plug in the thing. So h is equal to b over 2a. K is equal to c minus 1 squared over 4a. So we go ahead and what that would be h is equal to b over 2a negative 4 over 2 by 2 is negative 1. You already see that it's going to end up there. And k is going to be equal to c. C is 7. Take away b squared is negative 4 squared, so that's 16 over 4 by what would I put here? A. So this is 16 over 8. So that's 2. So this is going to be 7 minus 2, which is 5, which goes there. So it still works out to be the same thing, whether you use the long method or short method. Do you all understand that? Now, I don't know who it was, but people was understanding it, yeah. But when it's time to do one, problems now. Problems. When it's time to do one for yourself. So let's just do this one for yourself. I'm not giving you all much time to do it. So just try your best, and when 3 minutes up, tell me where you're already. Squared minus 0. So complete the square on this question. Complete the square on this question. Shemaya, Amelia, they are already 2 people here right now. How much minutes you all need? 3 minutes? 4 minutes? How much minutes you all need? No more than 5 minutes. 4 minutes max. The time is about 9 minutes passing the stream. So we say when you reach about 13 minutes. So I'm right here. Feel free to ask questions. You know what to do. You know the drill. You send it to the group chat here. Right, so we have 3 viewers on today. Yeah, we on for a record. We on for a record number of viewers here on this AdMath stream. So what we're doing is this question we completed in square for the person who just jumped in, and we're sending it to the WhatsApp. We only have about 3 more minutes again. So completing this square here. So make sure to attempt the question. Take this time that we give it here to attempt the question, because this is where I'll see any little mistakes and things, you know. Use my teaching expertise to help you out of the dark tunnels that we sometimes find ourselves in maths. Here, just watching my phone like Christmas. What time we have? We have 1 more minute. 1 more minute, and y'all will just send me where you reach Shemaya and Amelia. Thirty more seconds. I'll just send me where you reach. Start sending me where it's at. There comes the rain even heavier. Alright, so send me where you reach, guys. Send me where you reach. Seeing one put the up here. Oh, this looks good. Innocent ready with K. This looks nice. This is amazing. You got negative, or you got negative? They have a little problem, man. Oh, they have a problem in your formula with the Shemai. Your formula can either be... Oh, I wrote the wrong thing. This is there. So there's a problem in Amelia's formula. I hope you all hear me. Let me just write Y in the chat if you hear me, because I talking real loud and talking about the rain right now. The rain trying to bust a whole tree. Alright, so let's use this formula. H and B and C and K is formula is 4AC minus B squared on 4A, or C minus B squared on 4A. That's the formula. So you see the mistake in the formula? Oh yes, so let's go forward. 2A, 2 by 4. So I think everybody get it wrong. Yeah, negative 3. This one here, however, is 4AC, 4AC minus B squared all over 4A. Put that in your calculator and see what you get. Give me a second, let me pull up the calculator because I've seen some problems in calculations here. So let me show you what happens when I use my calculator. Wow, I can barely hear myself. It's amazing that I can hear me this camera, my grill. Which means I might lose my voice before my next class. That's good, thanks. So I'm just bringing up the camera here. It takes a little, the camera, the calculator. It takes a little while. You're seeing this? Should be seeing this. So I would put a fraction like this. Then 4 brackets 4 close brackets open brackets 27. Take away. Well, it doesn't matter that it's negative 24 or positive 24 if you square it, so it's still going to be the same thing at the end of the day. 4 by 4, let's just put 16 on that. Equals negative 9 is the answer here. So I see we got negative 9. Oh, so because your formula was back to front, you get positive 9 when it's actually negative 9. Here. Negative 144 divided by 16 is negative 9. So Shemaya, you was very close. So when you reach here, this is not the end. You just found the 2. So now you need to actually write it. So you write 4 x minus, well I put positive 3. Okay, I could take away 3. Take away 9. Alright, everybody understand that? I think both persons reach. Both persons reach pretty good. One more and then we're going on to the next exercise. Complete the square in this one, guys. Negative 2x squared minus 4x plus 7. So we completed the square there. Oh yes, big yawn neighbor. Hey Katy Perry, you had to pay some money on this lawsuit, but news just popping up here. So we're solving this one. Now, remember, when you have a negative, sometimes this one will be written as 7 take away 4x minus 2x squared. It can be written as that on the x side. Like they were just rearranged. Right? So let me ignore this. It's the same exact routine. So we have nothing to worry about. Oh, I forget the time, y'all. So I think 2 minutes past already. We'll go to 23. What pen one, man? Not this one, next one. Boom, I'm getting pictures here already. I'm moving quick now, but Shamaya. Let's see. Good, I remember last week we had some problems, but I've got the extra week. The extra week helped shake up things. Right. Still waiting on Amelia. So here we have d is equal to b of 2a. Right, very good. What is something like that? Very good. Very good, my friend. So this looks up. And the answer, Amelia didn't get your answer. The answer is going to be negative 2x plus 1 to b squared plus 1. We get all these squared. We get on this side. Don't forget on that side. I always forget it out a lot of times when I do the thing. Alright, so moving on. Oh yes. The next thing we'll cover in last week. But with a hint of some new stuff. So let me explain this new stuff. Quadratic. This is the graph of a quadratic equation. What shape is this? A parabola. In terms of like if we had an x-axis and a y-axis, let's make a random one. Do you know, for as far as we can go this way or that way, that this graph will exist? This graph is going to just keep going more and more this way, and more that way, forever and ever and ever. So unless otherwise, unless specified a specific domain, like they say between x is 1 and x is, like they say, 20. There, how you come back with 20? Like, unless they specify that, this graph is going to go on forever and ever. But in terms of the y-axis, there's a limit. This spot here, this is called the minimum point. Like you see, this is -3. So from -3 up is where the range exists, because the domain is the x-axis, and the range is the values on the y-axis. The spot that contains the values on the y-axis. And as I just said, the spot that contains the value on the x-axis is endless. Like x is a real numbers here. But for the y-axis, the range should actually be y is greater than or equal to -3. Do you understand that? Y must be greater than -3. This is a minimum, so it only have values that are higher than -3. This is the range. Now this could get a little complicated, so just make sure you understand this. Type Y in chat if you understand what I mean here. Let's look at the questions. Any questions, brother? Otherwise, repeat please. Alright. No problem. You have an axis. You know this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. This is a curve. What I'm saying is that this curve could go forever and ever in that direction, and forever and ever in that direction. And it could go forever up, but it doesn't go forever down. In fact, it stops. Where does it stop? It stops here. So there are no y values underneath this point. There'll always be x values this way, always be x values that way, and always be y values this way. But this is where the graph stops. This is the minimum. That's all I'm saying. So in a way, if I want to write it, I'll write x could be any real number, but y can't be any real number. Y has to be higher than this number here. Right? So let's look at the question. First, completely square this. So this is what they're going to ask you in 6. They'll ask you to completely square and something. Like you see 2x squared plus 4x minus 4x plus 2. Completely square this. Then the next thing they're going to ask you is, what is minimum point? What is the value of the minimum point? And we did this last week. What is the coordinates of the minimum point? No, I didn't ask it like that. I want to do the exact question. What is the minimum value of f of x? So this is a little different, but same concept. What is the minimum value of f of x? So let's do that. Let me just go and see what Zion trying for there. So completely square and then answer that. Yes, the minimum value of f of x, not the x value at the minimum point. So your idea good, but that's not the minimum. That's the x value at the minimum point, and the minimum value of f of x. Oh gosh, so completely square. Right. What is the minimum value of science? Yeah, anybody complete this square? Thanks, answers. Boom. Show my for the people them. Right. So you need to put it in the format. Oh. Next page. Alright. So hopefully that's correct. Hopefully that's correct. You divide by 2. Pull out the A, divide by 2. Yeah, that'll give good. Sounding good. And then, now what is the minimum value of f of x? So let me just come to this square very quickly. I'll use the long method now. Well, the so-called long method. Look up, I didn't say about extra square there. My bad. We know it be by. Right, so that's your answer there, which you got. So great. So the minimum value, anytime you have a scenario taking place like this, the minimum value, so take down this note, this is the minimum value of f of x. It's equal to the k. Now, the minimum value, the value of x at the minimum point would be equal to this, negative this, right? So if you're looking at the value, that's what I was saying just now. If you're looking at the value of x at the minimum point, is equal to the negative of h. Switch the sign on h. So you all understand that? I want to know if you could. I'm in a class right now teaching advanced class, so either tomorrow, just remind me tomorrow, and I'll message you. I'll have a class after this as well. Yeah. So the minimum value of f of x is that. So, right. Now, the next part of the question is going to ask, question, where are you? The corresponding value of x, which is that, and the range of f of x. The range of f of x. So what do you think the range of f of x would be? In a case where you have 2x minus 1 to be squared plus 1. The range is actually, first you say f of x is a member of real. It must be real. And the range must be greater than, it must be everything greater than the minimum point. Everything above the minimum point we're taking. Now this one is simple because the domain given was that x is real. So I'll give you all a few like this, and then I'll show you how much harder I can get, which is not as hard. So this is not the complete answer. The complete answer is f of x must be greater than or equal to this number here. Excuse me, 1. F of x is greater than or equal to 1. It means that the curve is really something like this. This is 1 here. So everything above 1 is a value in terms of f of x. You know, f of x is the same as y, right? So let me see if you all understand what I'm saying. Let's try one more. Let's try one more. Let's try a few. Let's try another question. X squared plus 4x minus 1. Didn't mean to write it green, but whatever. So complete the square. Then find the value of the minimum point, or the minimum value of f of x. And then find the value of x at the minimum, and then find the range of f of x. Whew, so that's a lot, but we just do the question like that. So I'm going to give you all how much time you need. 5 minutes, 6 minutes max, 6 minutes to get this one done. So we're on 39, so when you reach 45, I will ask for some pictures again. So we're at 39, when you reach 45, I'll ask for some pictures again. Shemaya, Amelia, and the mystery third person. Let's get this one done. Because I think I watch an Indian movie here, boy. Ooh, picture's coming in fast. And then a bit to do. X squared plus 4x plus take away 1. And completing the square like a boss these days. Great. And that looking good. No sign problems. Time. Right. So the minimum value of f of x is k. Alright, so the next part. So we have these two down. Good job. Yeah, actually needs the right minimum value. So the answer she got, which I think is correct, is 1x plus 2. Didn't forget the square this time, moving up in life. And you have to write this like this: minimum value of f of x is -5, and corresponding value of x, the x value at the minimum point is x is equal to -2. The negative of this, very good. So yeah, strongly signed. And the range here of f of x, all you need to do is say f of x is greater than or equal to that value, -5. But remember, that's the minimum value. That's how low as it goes. So one more, because we're going pretty good in this. One more, and then I'm gonna amp up the game a little bit. -4x squared plus 24x. That's a little too much there, boys. -2x squared plus -2x squared minus 8x minus 1. So here what we want. We want to find, first we want to complete the square. We're going to complete the square. See, I draw a square. And then we want the minimum value. Actually, why did I write minimum? It's actually maximum value of f of x. We're supposing that this guy here is f of x, right? Obvious. And then when the corresponding value why that g takes so long to write the corresponding value of, and I heard from Amelia, you're not there. Corresponding value of x at the minimum point, and then you want the range of f of x. Good luck. So since you're taking shorter, I can get a shorter time. I can just give 4 minutes. By the time I reach 50, we'll be done. I have a maths class at 7 o'clock. I got to take a little power nap in between classes here. 1 more minute to pop. Well done. Ahead of time pop again. So -2, eh? Right. Right. Minimum value of f of x is 3. Corresponding value of x. You need to write out that. You can't just write f of x and x. That will take away my guarantee. That f of x is not greater than, that's the last trick. It has to be less than this time. So anytime you're dealing with a max, remember this will be the point now, so everything will be less than. So it will be like f of x is less than or equal to 3. So everything else look good except that one last point here. So when the curve was like this sign will be more than. When the curve is like how it is now, because this is negative a, right? Negative a meaning, excuse me, the coefficient of x squared is negative. You understand what I'm saying? Why is in chat if you understand what we're doing there? But all the rest look good. You're getting strong right now, so great. We're ready to go to the next level. What is the next level, sir? Here is the next level. So what we have now, let's say we have, and I'm looking at question 6 part 1 on page 41. Let's say I have f of x is equal to x squared minus 10x plus 30. And let's say our domain was given. What's the domain? The domain is how much on the x we have. The domain was given like this. In other words, if the curve is like this, it's saying that it's going right through the middle here, and this is -2, this is 2. Oh, well, it's not saying going through the middle per se, but it's saying that's the part of the curve that we want. For example, the curve could be like this. What's wrong with it? Like this, and you have that there, you have this here, and you call it this part +2, and this part here -2. Nope, I lost. Alright. You lost on this part or on the part from before? If it's this part, you'll also, well, yeah, you need to tell a bit of it. I don't understand the maximum point. So I don't understand the maximum point. Maximum point. Oh, you don't understand the maximum point, Watson? Okay. No problem. Let's talk about that. So you have ax squared plus bx plus, this is general form of a quadratic equation. But some quadratic equations will look like this: 2x plus 3x plus, let's say, 10, then be a square here. This kind of quadratic equation, when this number is positive, always forms a curve like this. Always. Now, where it would sit down will be different. Like some might be up, some might be down, some might be, but the curve will always have a minimum point. But if there's a quadratic equation that has a negative number in front of the x squared, like this could be negative, and it will still, once it talk about this number here, that number must be negative. If that number is negative, then the curve does this. The curve goes the opposite direction, like that. So when we complete this square, and I'm just making up something here. Let me say we got this when we complete this square, right? This number here corresponds to the x value. that value there must be 3. The x value of the minimum point. Sorry. You know I had to put it on this side because it's negative we must take. We must always take in negative of that value. Negative b, negative h. So this is negative h comma k. This point here. That is the coordinates of that point. K, what is k? 10. So once again, I need to switch up something in this curve. This part needs to come now about here, so that this, I just pretend that this is 10 here. So that is how that curve would look. Any questions on that? Specific questions on that? Because I need to understand that little piece before I go into the maximum point. Once again, if you have 2, let me say we just finished up with negative 2, x plus 1 by plus 1. Well, this negative here means that the a was negative. If the a was negative, it means the curve goes like this. And this point here, what will be the coordinates of that point? This is squared by the way. It will be that, negative of that, and the positive of that goes there. Negative 1, 1. Now you need graph paper for this, what we are about to do here. Any specific questions, Amelia? Let me know. Any specific questions? So what we're saying is when you complete the square, you're going to always end up with something looking like this. And you see this h and this k, very useful values. H and the k are useful values. The value of the minimum point is negative h comma k, whatever h is. Alright, you understand so far. Alright. Now, okay. So you all draw a sketch. Let me see how much you understand. Draw a sketch of. I want you to complete the square, then draw a sketch. Complete the square of. I'm going to use the x squared plus 4x minus 1. Show me the blue key. I don't want to use back 1 since I already got already. Okay, my bad. X squared minus 6x plus 10. Complete the square. Then draw a sketch. Complete the square of that. Then draw a sketch. This work here is draw. Just my green screen between me full. A blue curtain here. Draw a sketch. Right. So complete the square and draw a sketch. Send your answer to the group. In other words, I want you to get an answer like this. Let me just pretend that x plus something there, x squared plus something there, and then I want you to come now after you get the answer there and figure out how to draw a sketch here. But in a sketch you must show this point and you must show where you cut the y-axis. That's what I want so far. I know what it is. Last week we was doing this, eh? Let's see how the thing goes. So the summer make me get dust. Don't worry. Summer is drain teachers and all too. Like right now, I feel drained and all. In terms of academics. Or in terms of just having fun and living and other things. The energy is there. But this is the time that you need to grind. Understand, it will take a little time to get the sketch done. Just gonna get some more time. Sending your sketch, sending your routine. Alright, Shemaya, so what you're doing here is finding roots. So you're going ahead to find the roots, which is cool. Cool. Alright. Well, apparently this wouldn't have any roots. So you end up getting the square root of a negative number. So this has no roots. In other words, this graph floats like, oh geez, I need this. This graph will float like, oh, this alarm went out just now. Did I hear anything? This graph will float like this. I don't know where the y-axis will be, but I can tell you it's not going to cut the x-axis like this. So don't bother to go and find the roots. If you remember, all I said to find was this and the value that it is going to cut the y-axis off. Find the coordinates of the minimum point and the value is going to cut the y-axis. So let's just copy what she has here. Hopefully, Amelia, you have the same thing too. If you don't, but she might have it wrong. Plus 1 equals 0. So we're taking this and we're drawing the graph of this. So you just need to get the coordinates of the minimum point. And the y-intercept. Now the y-intercept, as I said last week, is simple because the y-intercept is just that number. So that's just 10. And the coordinates of the minimum point is negative h and k. So that's just going to be 3 and 1. Now the trick is to sketch the graph. Here is where the trick lies. Remember those values, right? 3 and 1 and 10. So I already know that the graph not going to cut. So it has to be somewhere up there, right? So I'm going to draw this a little lower since I know it's not even coming down to the x-axis. I don't know why I tried to draw them straight line and actually I have a tool here to draw straight lines. So graph is somewhere here. So graph is. So that's all I would do in it. I would find out this point 3, 1. Get a little estimate of that. So 3, 1 is a sketch, so you don't need to go through all the da. I can just come now and say 3, 1 is about there. Right? Now on the graphic I want you all to do kind of correctly. And up here would be about 10. Up there would be about 10. Why did I select that 10? Because that's the y-intercept. So now my graph should look something like this. Straighter than that. You catch the idea. And I put in the points now. This is 3, 1. And this is 0, 10. That's the sketch of that graph. Let me see some Y's in the chat if you fully understand what's happening there. Oh, 90%. Let me see 90% understand what's happening there. Next up, I want you to try to draw this graph. But you can solve this using factorization, but I want you to complete this code. So try to draw this graph. Amelia, I need. So this is how it will look. This is the answer. Try to draw this graph. That's what we do next. Oh! You draw a straight line through my. Oh gosh, don't feel the fuck because I laugh. But that quadratics is supposed to curve, yeah, it's supposed to curve. But this is what you tell me. Draw a straight line. Lord have mercy! Alright, so you're trying to complete the square on this one here and draw a sketch, guys. Complete the square and draw a sketch. Amelia, feel free to ask any question. Because this is the last day we're doing this for a while. I mean, next time we'll see this sometime before exam. We'll study it past week or something. But at that time, there are more people in the chat. Chat will be hot. So, feel free to ask questions. Even till about 15. Y'all just draw a quick sketch. The numerator turn out to be 0. Okay, well, k is 0. K is 0, the square root of 0 is 0. K is 0, that's all. 0 divided by 36 is 0. K is 0. So keep running. 4 is, that's because this question is nicely symmetrical. Yeah, so that's not a problem. 0. Because 0 is 0. Keep going on, let's get the sketch. Let's get the sketch happening, people. So, that filter, you know, the black in my eyes. Amelia ain't seen nothing from me again. Are you still there? See a pop. Boom. Wrong chat. Wrong chat. Back it up. I waited to see the graph. I'm very excited to see this graph because this graph will be a little unique. Since we had that 0 taking place, this graph is going to be a little different. Afterwards, Amelia, if you're looking at the graph, you could all try the next question one time. This is the next graph we are going to draw. But send the graph first, send the questions. DJ Lewis. This question here. Boom. Yes. 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 That's a lot of yeses. But yes, this is the graph. This is the graph for the people. Good week. Good week. Now, your graph in a mess, to be honest. The look of your graph is in a mess. But you may still get full marks for it because you have everything where it's supposed to be. Just that, the graph drawing skills are a little rusty. So, like I have the 1 here, and then you realize that there's 2 2's, negative 2 2's. Oh, shucks. Tell me if I mistake with the X. Oh. Tell me if you realize the mistake you make with the X. You have negative 2 2's, so it will turn to be positive 2 2's. The X value is actually, remember the X value sign is switch. So about here, so is 2 2's. 2 2's 0. That is where it good. And your 4 up here is good. And we hit, watch me now. Yes. but not for yes. Anyhow, so your 4 up there was good. So this graph, what you want to do is go down and aim for like around here, so you understand? So it's like you're trying to make a nice little curve there, so you're aiming kind of short and then you're aiming kind of short and then you curve and then you go back up. So graph look like this. Right, the X value with a switch. But that was a pretty good attempt. One more in this question. One more. So hopefully clearing up some misconceptions here. This is why you need to do it, you need to practice it. And it's kind of bad that everybody not here to practice it. When you practice it and I watch it and you see different errors that you make, that's when you get really good at it, right? Me teaching it is one thing, but you actually need to do it. I always tell students that. Nothing so far. Writing and distance. Let's see, no. I feel like I'll pull out this one. Are we there? Completing this going very quickly. You're right, guys. I need to know that. So when you complete this square, you get this. This means that we sketch. By the way, there's a negative here. Don't forget the negative. When we're sketching this, we're sketching a graph like this, right? But let's just get the minimum point first. The minimum point looks like it's -1, -12. We also need to find the roots, if they can be found. Can they be found? Bring across. No, we get a negative answer. So no roots to be found. So this is the minimum point. No roots. The reason I know we get a negative answer, when you bring this across, you turn the positive and then you have to divide by -5. Once again, a negative answer, you can't get the square root of a negative answer. So you wouldn't be able to find the roots. Almost there. We get x -1. mistake by Sir here. Big mistake by Sir here. That should be minus. That should be minus. This should be also minus. Well done, Shamaya. Alright. Which means that when I multiply now, I have to add back. Which means that's the correct thing there. Yeah. So way to go. You was actually correct and I was wrong. So sweet. So let me see if you can get a positive answer. Bring that across, you get negative. Actually, there are roots. So there are roots here. So this is the minimum point. If you have to find the roots now, you have negative 5x minus 2 squared minus 2. Was it minus 2? Minus 1. This is how you go about finding the roots. You bring across the 2. Oh no. Oh no, you're not going to get any roots. You're not going to get any roots. I think your graph have a little problem. Graph have a little problem. Your point's correct in a way, but here, so there's no roots because I brought across this, it turns to positive. At the end of the day, I'm going to end up divided by negative 5. This is a negative number, so I'll end up finding the square root of a negative number. I'm going to get rid of the square. I can't find the square root of a negative number. So no roots. No real roots. That's what we're at. And then we have to find the square root of a negative number. No real roots. This is important to find out that there are no real roots. You know why? You will make the mistake like what you made just now there. So that was pretty good what you do there. Pretty good. I mean, you did avoid a mistake that I made. I ran headless with that mistake there. Alright, so the minimum point is positive 1. Because remember, it'll be positive now. Eh? Positive 1, negative 12. This is Shemaiah. Yeah, so positive 1, negative 12. I remember it's not minimum point, sorry. Wow. I'm going to make a mess of this question. It's a maximum point. And I think you know how to fix it. It's a max. So good. Alright, so I'll give you the chance to fix it. That's missing. Wait. Boom. Boost. That is it. I mean, your curve, once again, your curve looking like a hill all day, but I think you're in a correct guess. the y was negative 7. Y-intercept. You have negative 7 there, yes, very good. Negative 7. So in again, not that bad, man, not that bad. So you had a negative 7 there, and yeah, and your minimum point was 1 negative 12. No, 1 negative 2, sorry. Again, negative 2 up there, and that's a sheet. So 1 negative 2. Right, so yeah, pretty good. 1 negative 2. Let me see, this is 1, and let me see down here, so negative 2. Let me make one a little closer here. Let me look at it better. So this graph is a very thin graph. You wouldn't get one that weird like this. But this is your minimum point there. So let me just stretch out that one again, because really and truly I don't want to be drawing such a thin graph. There's a negative 2, this is the 1, so I just graphing scale is a this graph look kind of good, buddy. Back then and the thing. Right, so work on your little curves now. Work on your curves. So your curves just keeping your back feet second. Alright, so let's go forward. How does it get harder than this? Well, they could give you a domain. This is what I was going into. They could give you a domain in the x-axis. So the question I had was x squared minus, I'm going to do this one, 10x plus 13, and the domain that was given, hopefully we'll have time for you to do one. The domain that was given as this. So x squared minus 10x plus 13. So we have a domain. Now what does this mean? This means when you draw the sketch of the graph, you're only taking your own, I just pretending that there's a graph, it might look nothing like this. You're only taking values between negative 2 and 2. So if the graph went up like that, only these values are applicable. Only this part of the curve here works. Alright. I need to actually do it for that to become clear what I mean. So I need to complete this square. I'm going to complete this square very quickly here. Hopefully very quickly. So we have 1 into x minus 5, v squared, take away 12. Square. Alright, so that looks like the answer there, completing the square, right? So from completing the square, you proved just now that you know how to draw the graph from completing the square. So let's just draw this graph quickly. Now, we only concerned about the part of the graph that's between negative 2. Remember the question is this. We're only concerned about this part of the graph. Negative 2 and 2. And the question is going to ask us to find the maximum value, find the minimum value, and the range of values. The range of f for the given domain. The range of f for the given domain. This question could come very tricky in exams. I wonder if I have enough time to fully explain this. I may have to just touch on this again next week before we go into the alphabet, and that'll be the end of quadratics. Alright, so okay, let's draw it. The minimum point is what? We have a minimum point occurring at 5, negative 12. Okay. I'm going to ignore the roots for now. We have a, roots not that important for what we want. We have a y-intercept. Oh, that way just escaping my mind. Y-intercept at what? 13, right? 13. So yes, right? 0, 13. Right? Okay, so let's 5, negative 12, 2. So this graph doing a lot. This graph doing the most. 13 for reason why? 13. I'm kind of going to make the graph a little tough. So let me say this is, let me just say here is negative 12, and let me just say about here, so it's 13. And not to remember that. And let me just see what was 5 negative 12. And we say we are around 5 here. Right? Here's 5. This graph has a point down here and a point up here. And we are sure that it's a minimum, the graph doing a kind of minimum thing. So what's going to happen is the graph is going to be like this. I really overstretched it. It's going to be like this. Right? I didn't really curve on the underneath too good. I talk about much in my graph and much in my graph. That's a little better. I still kind of have a little kind of weird thing going on there. Right? And then again, I draw it not like that. I have no excuse. I have an excuse. Alright, so yeah, this is the graph. And the part of the graph that we are concerned about is the part from 2, between 2 and negative 2. So I'll just highlight that. Let me see if 2 is actually a point. Then of course that's square root of 12. So I suspect it could be around here. 2, negative 2. Go up here. 2 here. This part in purple, I'm debating red because the purple didn't really pop in that over the green. This part of the graph here, between these 2 points, that is the part of the graph that you need to be concerned about. Because if you want to find the range of values, you actually need to go ahead and find this value here and this value here. That is the range of values, because the domain is between negative 2 and the domain is between negative 2 and positive 2. And so you kind of understand what's happening here. I'm going to give you one, so try and picture what's happening here. So it's like when you get a domain, you're only dealing with a specific section of the graph. So when you had to find the range now, back in the days when you found the range earlier in the class, you're saying everything above here. But the range is not that anymore. The range is just this portion here. So we actually need to find this value, this y value, and that y value. How do you get that y value? Simple. Substituting negative 2 and 2 into the equation. So when x equals 2, y is equal to, you can use it here or you can use it here. Or you can use it down here. So, y is equal to, let's say, 2 squared. Tell me, what is the answer for this? 2 squared minus 10 by 2, which is 20. I can actually work on this in my mind. Plus 13. So y will be equal to 4, take away 20 plus 13. Y is going to be equal to, how am I taking so long? 3. Yeah. So this value here is 3. That's important. That's important. What about when x is equal to negative 2? So when x is equal to negative 2, y is going to be equal to negative 2 squared minus 10 by negative 2 plus 13. So this is going to be 4 plus 20 this time plus 13. I go on high. So this one here is 37. 37 boy. Yeah boy. 37. 37. So the range of values, the range of f of x is, and for space I'm just going to write range semicolon, is f of x must be less than or equal to 37 or more than or equal to 3. Any questions? Now is the time to ask the question. Because I'm going to throw in the hot water and just give you another question. So Shemai, I hope you're ready. You ready? 3x minus 6x plus 5. Our domain is negative 4 must be greater than x plus h. So this is the domain. This is the domain here. And what I want you to do is complete this square. A lot of things to do here. You have to complete this square. You have to draw a sketch. Keep in mind, really consider really about this part in the domain. And then you need to find the range. Now when you're drawing this sketch, you would need to know the minimum point and the y-intercept. Already see that you kind of have idea to find the roots. So I'm not too concerned about the roots right now. So complete the square, draw the sketch, and find the range of f of x. Range of values for f of x. This should take us out. Oh, you type the y in the WhatsApp chat. Oh, I guess you're watching it on the TV and you're using your phone. Okay, I understand. which was pretty quick. No, you use the same old school range idea. You have to draw the sketch now. The range is different this time. This time the range is different. What I did just now, the range is between two values. So you have to draw the sketch and establish the domain. They didn't give you the domain for style. Right, so they didn't give you the domain for, they did not give you the domain for style. So you need to actually draw the sketch. Right? And then, so your range will be different. Right, so I'll wait on the drawing. And when you're done the drawing, you need to substitute the points. Substitute this -4 and this 3 into the equation. When you substitute the points into the equation, that will give you the f of x. That is the range that you're using. But the reason you draw these sketches is because something fishy could happen, and I'll explain that before I go. So just draw the sketch and I'll explain the one little sketchy thing that could happen. We'll do that next week. Then we'll do alphabet and we'll be done with quadratics. Thank you, Lord. How come I seem a bit clear? Like, you want this class to last forever? Nice graph. So between -4 and 3, so when x is 3, y is equal to 14, and you know they're gonna do the thing in this graph that the problem that and it could happen. Yeah, your graph was kind of insufficient. Okay, let me see again that graph for real, right? So which means I don't need to draw the underneath part of the graph. Just going on your answer here, you could be wrong. But let's say the graph is correct. And 1, 2, 1, 2. The reason I'm making it so small is because where things happen in this graph. So the point is about here, so. About here, so. And I cut the x-axis, the y-axis, sorry, there, at 5. And this soldier doing a kind of, you know what I usually do is draw the graphs and then just put the points like that. Bam, bam. Yeah, that's the shortcut technique that some people to do before Maths exam. Alright, so this point here was 1, 2. Let's get to it, not to see. This point here is 0, 5. There's no root, so it didn't cut the x-axis. What I'm saying is we have to be concerned about points from 3. So if this is 1, this will have to be our 3, so this is 1. To negative 4. Like you see, negative 4 is about here, so negative 4. So you draw that up there. A graph should have lengthened about this. And 3 is here, so. Now, there's a little, this is the, remember I told you a trick could happen with this graph? The trick happened here, in that this graph goes down then up. Understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? It goes down then up. So the range of values, just now when I did the graph, the range of values was between the 2 points in consideration. But now the range of values is not just between this point and this point. You already substituted and told me that this number here is 14. Excuse me. You already substituted and said that that number is 14. Right? And if you substitute negative 4, you'll get a big number. Like if you substitute negative 4 here to get out what this number is up here, you're going to get 3 by negative 4 squared, take away 6 by negative 4 plus 5, tell me what that number was. So 3 by 16, take away, add 24, plus 5, and this is 48, plus 24, plus 5, 29, 30, 70, 77. This is 77, could be wrong. 77. Right, 77. So this is going up to quite up to 77. So it's saying, and try and follow me, we'll go through this again next week. It's saying that the range of values, the highest it could go up to is 77, and the lowest it could go down to is 14. That's what you would have think if the graph was doing this. But the graph actually had a minimum here. So the lowest that this graph could go to is actually 2. This value here. So the range of values of f of x is f of x must be less than 77, but it must be more than 2. Alright, so we'll go through this again next week. We'll go through this last bit next week, and then we'll go into alpha beta. So I'll kind of hold up on the Maths homework until maybe school starts and things get a little more serious. Because I know you don't have the textbook and people try when the Maths not really there. Maths homework. Amelia in my Maths class, and I know she does her homework and stuff in the Maths class. So this Maths class is a little rough to give homework on. Alright, so that's it. What you need to look out for is the little dips, the little snakes. So like sometimes the value you want is between like there and there. So you just take highest value, lowest value. But sometimes the value is between like here and here. So you can't take the highest and the lowest, you have to take the highest and the minimum point. The because it actually goes lower. That's why it's important to draw the sketch. So when you get the book, you'll see they explain that as well, but it's a little rougher to understand. Next week we'll go through it again. But just write the note to myself. Next week we'll continue with drawing quadratics. This is more for me than for you. And then we're going into alpha and beta. Alright, so next week we're continuing with that and that, which I'll wrap up quadratics. Thanks for staying the full 2 hours. See you all again in the next stream.